Tweeting at Bridget. Whew. Hello, everybody. Bridget will be here in a minute. You guys can get to watch me sit here and get ready for it. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Do I need to text her? Where is she? Whew. We got 200 people here already. So Bridget will be here in a minute, I'm sure. I want to tell you guys, we'll give a second. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, Nate. Psych. So I want to tell you guys about, oh, here she is. Let me add, she's, you can't hear her yet, but I see her. There she is.
Hi.
There's Bridget. Bridget, oh, okay, there we go.
Boom.
Well, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Bridget.
Who's our sponsor tonight?
Our sponsor is Sheath Underwear.
Ooh, perfect.
And the thing about Sheath Underwear is it's got a pouch for guys.
What's the pouch? Oh.
2 pouches, one for each part of your anatomy. So I wear these every day. If you go to sheathunderwear.com and use promo code Malice20, you get 20% off. And if you're in a business meeting or in a date, you'll feel subversive because your underwear will be holding you. So I love them. So I wear them every day. You get them to my pants. Here's one from Charlie. Here's one from Hayden. We got a lot of people in here, Bridget. We got 350.
Whoa. Hello, everyone.
Look, say hello to all.
I just got out of the shower, so I'm all wet.
Boy, are my arms tired. Here's one for you. This is a great question just specifically for Bridget. What are your thoughts on Thomas Carlyle?
I don't know.
No Thomas Carlyle was a British philosopher. He's part of the European right-wing tradition, which we really don't have here. And he's very big on the great man theory of history. The idea that history is the history of great men, and it's an elitist, not in a pejorative sense, view of the world.
Okay, tell me more.
I haven't read much about him because what I've read, I'm like, this seems pretty dated and almost tautological in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you see him a lot on these like kind of like fringe right. They'll use him as their avatar on Twitter. Like if you look up his face, you'll see it.
I feel like I've heard the name, but I know.
Yeah.
It's a name I've definitely Googled. I don't. I'm horrible with names, but
yeah, it's like 1890 stuff, and I feel like if I read it, I'm like, I don't need to read this kind of thing. So
why? I want to know what their thoughts are.
No, you don't. Thomas Carlyle wouldn't want the plebs to tell you their thoughts. That doesn't make any sense.
We're the plebs.
Wait, what are you talking about? We're blue checks, baby. We're the ones that matter.
I'm a pleb. I'm always gonna be a pleb at heart.
No, you're an accident. What was it? Accidental pundit.
Accidental pundit. That's the book I'm writing.
I am very excited for tomorrow night.
We need some. I'm very calm. I feel good. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of histrionics happening right now, and I go wade into it, and I'm like, whoa, calm down. And then no one wants to be told to calm down.
Right. There's a word in Russian that my dad uses, which is just the word means like relax, but it's more like unwind. But the connotation is so condescending and horrible that it makes you want to just like bludgeon someone in the head with a shovel.
Unhinge.
Yeah, unhinge. Yeah. Do you see that? Do you see the negative connotation of anarchist by the average person ever going away? No. Do you embrace it? I don't care what the average person thinks. I'm not being sarcastic or ironic. They don't have any mind or relevance. Smash or pass Karl Marx, Bridget, over to you. Are you a beard? Do you like beards?
Yeah, I like beards.
Okay, what about Karl Marx? Smash or pass?
I don't know. I
He
bet
looks
I
like
probably
he'd smell.
Yeah, I think all those guys look like they'd smell back then. That's all I could think of. You know, the Gangs of New York. I couldn't enjoy that movie because the whole time all I could think about was how gross sex was back before basically like any time in before 100 years ago even.
And you're an Irish woman. So I mean, talk about filthy, filthy people. It was funny because Douglas Murray came into the gas chamber to do the show, and the show recording ahead of me is called Irish Goodbye with Mike Ken and Mike Sweeney, who are just amazing dudes. And I'm making all these jokes about like, I can't believe we have to wait on the Irish. Like, it's just might as well be waiting on diarrhea and garbage, like made out of vomit. And like, I'm laughing, and like Douglas starts laughing, and I'm like, I don't think you're laughing in the same way I'm laughing, because I'm laughing like very, very ironically, and I don't know that you are.
He's like laughing actually.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, rather. That's what I was thinking. Twitter says they don't give blue checks anymore. Really? Sorry. Like, we don't have a
they ran out.
They ran out of checks. This reminded me of when I was in college. My business professor, I think this was talking about how he had a student who was an heiress or whatever, like trust fund, and she couldn't understand that her bank account ran out of money because she still had more checks.
Wait, did that guy donate $20 to ask that question?
Yeah. Well, no, he donated $20 and he asked that question.
Wow.
It's a way for people to show support.
Him a better answer than that.
There's no we here.
People wanted to donate to me, and they were mad in my community that they couldn't. And so I told them to donate to a charity for starving kids in Yemen.
Yeah. Okay. Here's one from Nate. Will the cathedral come back with a vengeance and assert more dominance in the event of a Joe Biden win? They will always try to assert more dominance. There's no situation where they're not going to try to reassert their dominance, regardless of who wins. But they do not have the capacity, in my view. What do you think, Bridge?
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess I'm still trying to figure out how Trump got around the cathedral.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they benefit greatly from the money that everybody's making off this massive, he's a huge economy. Because 2020, I look around, it's been a cash grab for everyone. Who hasn't made money other than maybe me?
I just made $20 for some dope who asked me a stupid question that I didn't even bother answering.
But there's a lot of money that's been made in the Trump era on all sides.
I wish they were more concerned with money and less with power. If they were more concerned with money, I think things would be a lot easier. I think Biden is one of those who, like, if all the allegations about Biden and all this stuff, like, I'd rather someone just be corrupt and on the take than a real ideologue who really wants to do some damage.
Yeah, but I don't think that he is. Is he?
On the take?
Biden.
Yeah, he's the Manchurian candidate. Like, China owns him, and that's a problem.
I just think that he probably won't last. I'm more afraid of her. Just because she goes wherever power is.
Yes, she's a sociopath. And I'm not using that word loosely.
She just seems to gravitate and make herself to wherever the power is. I don't sense very much genuine left in her.
Correct. Which is good.
Meat suit.
Yeah, that's a good thing that she's not this ideologue. She doesn't care.
But I feel like she could become one.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. That's a concern. Okay, we got another hold on. So now he's just giving 20 more bucks just to say woof.
Oh, I'm so impressed.
So when I'm in LA, I'm gonna do this with you live, and you're gonna get all the money.
This is like buying drinks. This is like buying shots at the club.
Yeah, at the club. How do you pace your live streams following your own loose agenda and respond to super chats from us plebs? How do you pace?
He's saying, like, how do you balance our conversation and their questions?
I'll tell you exactly how. When I grew up,
I like your haircut.
Thank you. I did it myself. When I grew up, I spent a lot of time playing games like this.
Like Tetris?
And Game and Watch. No, it's like Super Mario Brothers. It's like from '83.
I thought the Russian Tetris.
All Tetris is Russian.
I know.
But the whole point is like the whole point of this game is trying to balance like Mario with the cement. So I guess I was kind of trained on it since I was a wee lad. Not that I'm a big lad now, but thank you, Bridget, for recommending Trickster Makes This World. It is excellent and somehow reminds me of Malice. I am absolutely a Trickster figure in that my genitalia is ambiguous, just like Loki.
This is why I love Malice.
Why is that?
Because when I first met you, I didn't understand what was happening until.
Is that true?
Well, just even on Twitter. I mean, very, very early, not when we met in real life. I feel like I had gotten a handle on what was happening.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a chaos thriver.
Yeah. And I suddenly, that's one of my favorite books. And I was like, oh, this is a trickster.
Yeah,
you're a shapeshifter.
Well, that's, you shouldn't use that word with Jews. Because that's what they call us. Lex Friedman spot in the chat. 10001110001. Is there any outcome tomorrow that won't be wonderfully entertaining for you? Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I feel bad for everybody's brain breaking. You and I have always kind of parted ways on this, where I'm more upset at seeing everybody lose their minds, and you like to watch everyone's brains break.
I feel that if you are someone who is so weak that you are going to outsource your sense of sanity to whoever the putz is at the White House at the moment, it is very hard for me to have any empathy or sympathy for you.
It's very upsetting to see everybody. That's what I was saying on Twitter. It's just like histrionic personality disorder everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's no resilience. Zero. You're going to let this just break you? You wouldn't survive a day making bricks in Pakistan.
Let's break this all down. Let's suppose everything about Trump is true. Okay. Find an immigrant family and help them, give them a job, or, take care of their kids while the mom works. That's immediate change you could do to solve that issue. You're worried about trans people? Okay. Hire someone who's trans, do something with them, buy them clothes. It's not going to be easy for them to buy clothes. There's so many mechanisms you and an individual, if you actually care about these issues, can do to make marginal improvements in a profound way. So sit down and do it instead of just fretting and freaking out.
And I think so much of it is time. And I see the amount of time people are fretting online. I'm like, go donate, go volunteer with kids who need after school help. Go help any of these children who you're talking about are being lost in the, no Wi-Fi school shutdowns. There's so many ways.
Go talk to the elderly, be a super spreader, and just, let's take care of that problem immediately.
I can't do that anymore. Not super spread.
Love you too, Locals family.
I love her. She has a tractor.
A tractor?
What do you drive tractors. She's useful to us when the shit hits the fan.
I got such a system set up when when the boogaloo hits, it's not even funny. It is not even. Oh yeah. Well, I roll wide and I roll deep. Do you expect riots if Trump has a narrow win or does not the popular vote? Will there be something similar if Biden wins similarly? I gotta tell you, I am not expecting huge civil unrest. I'm not. And the biggest example of this, which everyone forgets, Trayvon Martin, which would have been if you sat down, I know people are binary thinkers and can't understand this. If you gave people a list of 10 reasons to riot and of the reasons people have rioted, Trayvon would be number one, where if I had to pick between the 10, that would make the most sense to me. And they didn't riot after Trayvon Martin. So people think a lot of these riots are intuitive. A lot of it is also media driven. And I don't think they would be that excited to see rioting if Trump wins again.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think? You think there's going to be unrest?
I mean, from what I've heard from people, and I was saying this even on Dumpster Fire this week, my guy who delivers my water delivers it to the FBI, and I know some cops, and they all expect riot. I know, with the face, but they all expect. I was a waitress, always waiting on cops, and they all expect riots no matter what.
Did you laugh when they ordered bacon?
Yeah.
I had Chris DeRose on You're Welcome this week. He wrote a book about the Battle of Athens, which was the only successful revolution in America. It was 1946. There was basically an extremely corrupt legal system and police system in Athens, Tennessee. And basically all these vets came back. This is a very big Second Amendment story. Came back from World War II. Like they were basically beating people up the polls, like destroying votes. And since the judiciary was in on it too, and it was brazen, like there was nothing that could be done, and they had this uprising. And I'm like, oh, so I guess what you're saying is, and he's a conservative, that democracy is a sham and the good guys are the ones who shoot the cops, right? And he's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm like, well, okay, gotta go. Bye. That's the message I just got. Bye. Thank you. Enjoy the book. Yeah, it's true. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Okay, hold on. We got to catch up with these. We got one from Andy. There's a lot of people in here. It's getting
hectic.
It's getting hectic. This is my kind of chaos. Okay, no question. Just take some of my shithole money. Oh, Canada. You know they have a duck on their money.
We'll still take it.
They'll still take it. Andy Bravo, 99 cents. I'll still take it. Did the cathedral's covering for dementia Biden live up to your expectations? No. They didn't have to, because he was so much in the bunker and he wasn't out campaigning. They didn't have to just make up excuses for him like I thought they would have to. And he held his own in the debate.
Could you do 5 rallies like Trump did yesterday? That guy is
Did he do 5?
He did 5 rallies, I think, yesterday. You know what it's like. You've done comedy, haven't you? Or any... That's exhausting doing one of those things. Of
course, yeah.
And he's doing stand-up basically. So that's 5 shows in a day. I don't know.
That is just to talk and to travel is a lot. Just to travel to 5 places in a day is exhausting.
He did 5 rallies. And all the videos coming out of Florida, the Trump, like the salsa dancing and everything. They're
dancing. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's really wild times we live in.
2024, Tulsi Gabbard and Dan Crenshaw. Support and thoughts. I do not support anyone for any office. What do you think, Bridge? Dan Crenshaw, isn't he particularly terrible?
I don't know. I know he's the one with the eye patch, right?
Yeah, he's like a boomer con, I think.
Is he?
I think he's like textbook boomer con, yeah.
I thought he was like a Gen X con.
Well, I mean, just psychologically, like his views. He's not in age, but like he's just all about like the Dems are the real racists, that kind of stuff. It's like, cool. Okay. Oh, really? Martin Luther King was a Republican? Well, there you go.
That's my favorite line. The Dems are the real racists.
They're the real racists. Party of the KKK.
I don't think Tulsi's gonna have. I mean, they kind of just ignore. You know, they
vanished her.
Here's the reason that I think the cathedral wanted Trump, because they can vanish people. So if they did to Trump back when he was running what they did to her, which is simply just ignore her and not give any coverage or any kind of attention at all, I think that he probably wouldn't have gained the momentum that he gained.
I have a tweet, which I'm sure someone can find, of when Kamala Harris dropped out, and there were like 4 articles. I linked to all of them, and none of them mentioned Tulsi's attacking her in the debate as one of the reasons why she had to drop out. There's like 5 reasons they don't mention the debate performance. And that's when you see this is not a bias, but an agenda, and it's just absolutely transparent. Who we got here? Is altruism evil because it eventually destroys? Well, that's not why it's evil, but destruction is bad.
Why does it eventually destroy?
I think the point is, if you do not fight for values of your own and your own principles, and you're constantly using other people to kind of further agendas, it's not building things up, it's tearing things down. You know, it's all about sacrifice. This is the Ayn Rand position.
I don't know. I'd have to think about that a lot more than just right here flying off the cuff. That feels like a deep question.
It is. I mean, there's a 70-page speech about it in one of her books. Spoiler alert, her answer is yes. May Loki smile upon you. Also looking forward to another round with Lex and or Eric Weinstein. Yeah, I messaged with Eric. I would be glad to do his show. I think he's got the idea of trolling, and I don't blame him, because the term has several connotations. Like whenever any slang reaches the gen pop, it loses its specificity. Like when they refer to Trump as an incel, it's just like okay. It's like what do you think that term means other than being a jerk? Shout out to Lex for being steamrolled. I don't think he was steamrolled by Malice and Weinstein and still hanging out. If we get a Putin pod, it will be glorious. Love for Norway. He buried the lead. I don't want this shithole money. You know, the prime minister of Norway, she looks like Santa Claus's wife. Her name's Erna Somberg or something like that. She speaks perfect English. So
wait, I missed this steamrolling. Or whatever.
No, I mean, I did his show for like, he was like wiped. So like for that was like 3 hours or 4. And Weinstein was just on. I put up a clip. They talked about me a little bit. But he wants to talk to Putin, which would be pretty awesome. About the robots. Bridget, do Matt Stone and Trey Parker know about Bitchelina?
I don't know.
Because you kind of nailed the feel of South Park like perfectly.
Yeah, I tried to get them to them to do that one, but they don't. You know, Trey writes all of his own stuff, as they told me.
If I get my Jew ass to Nashville, can you get me and Ben in a room together, do you think? I'm sorry putting you on the spot publicly.
Who?
You, Bridget. I'm asking you.
You are?
Yes, me. Oh. I'm not paying money. This is a free one.
Oh, this is your
this is your welcome.
It's gonna be $100.
She's confused because there's no dollar sign. I've trained her well. I don't understand where this question's coming from. Do you want a question mark upside down at the beginning, like in Mexico, so you can understand?
I didn't see any dollars, and I was like, "Is this some kind of free question?" I don't understand. A freeloader is asking this question.
I specifically said no freeloading question. Okay, so just think about it.
I will.
Okay, I don't want to.
I'm not in Nashville though.
I just meant if I got to Nashville.
Oh,
if you could
right.
Make that happen.
I was so confused.
Okay, someone super chat that so she'll be able to understand the question.
I don't answer questions for free anymore.
Yeah. Can Bridget Hangouts be a regular thing? I think we can do this and then we'll alternate it so she gets all the money next time. I'll do it when I'm in LA. I'm planning to be there first week of December to do some shows. Question will be if Cuomo's being too annoying about New York.
Oh, because you won't be allowed to leave?
Yeah.
Did you see that they filed a lawsuit against Gavin Newsom and he lost?
No, tell me about it. I did not know this.
I have to follow up because I saw it right before I jumped on. The guy who sued him for his kind of overreach and said it was unconstitutional for some of the measures and shutting businesses down. The judge took forever. We were waiting like 10 days or 2 weeks or something. And then she came back and I guess they won. They won the lawsuit. I have to look into it. But then everyone in the mentions was like, it's not going to matter. They sued in Wisconsin too or somewhere else.
It was, what was her name? Michigan, I think, was the other one with Gretchen Whitmer. Yeah. Shots for you and Bridget. Thanks for doing these.
Shot.
I'm going to do shots like Hunter.
Shot.
I got to tie off my arm.
Hunter seems like he would have been kind of fun to party with back in my partying days.
You saw the ruler photo, I'm guessing, huh? That's a yes.
No, I heard about it though.
Any update on Rubber Rodeo? Much love, homie. Okay, so I wrote a script in 2003-4 about this band from the 80s, and someone gave me the idea to turn it into a graphic novel, which is going to happen. I got to get on the horn with Ethan Van Sciver to figure out how to do it, but it's the best thing I've ever written. I also have to figure out if I'm going to use their names or it's going to be a lawsuit to kind of have to change the character because it's not actually historically accurate, but it's going to come out sooner than people think. I love you both so much. Okay, stalker, please.
We love you.
Don't speak for me. I don't know you.
I love you.
There we go. Much better. Maybe for 20, you can buy my love. when it's a yellow bar, then it's love. Green. I hope Trump trolls the left by offering Tulsi a job in the White House. Even if he loses, she would be in charge of a peaceful transfer of power. I don't think they would care. They wouldn't get trolled. They would be like, see, this shows she's a Republican operative all the time. Blah, blah, blah. Unfair attacks on Kamala Harris.
They unpersoned her.
Yeah, they absolutely unpersoned her. That's what she gets for stealing my look, to be fair. Dyeing her hair just so it could look like mine. Michael, can we expect a conversation between you and Eric Weinstein?
$4.99. Cough up the penny.
Oh, come on. No. Be nice to Dylan. He's clearly special needs. As are all the people in this chat. I tweeted at him. He didn't reply. I'm very open. If he's not interested, I totally don't blame him. I don't invite myself places. I would be, and I will also promise to be extremely cordial and a good conversation.
Were you guys fighting publicly or something?
No, he went on Lex's show and said that he's against trolling, and he used me as an example of this, but he specifically said that I'm not an example of this cynical break everything down trolling.
Okay.
Yeah. So hold on, what's this? Why does no one care about Georgism anymore? So Georgism, Henry George was one of the early anarchists. He believed in the single tax, which is only a tax on land, and everything else was anarchist. My friend who went to Porkfest, which is like the libertarian Burning Man, they had met a Georgist there, and they weren't going to argue with them. They're like, oh my God, it's like an endangered species. Like, please stay. Like, please keep this mentality. His book was called like Progress and Poverty or something from like 1890. He's really a relic of the past. If Biden wins, does COVID just go away? Thoughts, Bridge?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe it's not like, here's what's interesting, and we were talking about this week on Dumpster Fire too. Everything Europe was kind of upheld as like this amazing example, and now it's just a shit show and everybody's getting it and numbers are rising. Yeah. And you don't hear people saying, oh, well, it's the leader's fault. You know, that's what I think might change. I don't know that you can't, it still exists. I have friends who work in hospitals. It's not like a myth or a hoax. So I do think that it will still be around. Now, whether everyone will be like, Biden is responsible for the next 100,000 COVID deaths is probably not, like, people won't be saying that. They won't be blaming him for every death. That's my theory.
I agree with you. Any chance we ever see Sam Hyde on You're Welcome? I interviewed Sam for The Observer a few years ago. If you look it up, you'll be able to find it. Fetish fantasy equals Phetasy. Always wondered about origin of your last name.
Ooh, boy, that's a whole story. But you can go check it out because I told it on my podcast. It's the origin of Phetasy. It's a word I made up, and you're not wrong about the words I played with to get there.
I thought it was fentanyl and ass.
Phetasy. Fat assy.
Have you seen the YouTube channel? Oh God, more shithole money. YouTube channel, China Uncensored. Amazing and informative coverage of what's going on in China with an ironic air. My beat's North Korea. I have not been on top of China as much as I should have. And right now, I'm knee deep in Soviet Union stuff for the next book.
Have you seen the chick who left North Korea and she has a whole YouTube channel? And
Yeonmi?
I think that's who it is. Yeah. But yeah, all the stuff she does about China gets demonetized.
Yeah. So do you think Biden will follow through with his anti-gun policy? Do you think people will capitulate? What do you think, Bridge?
Yes, I think he'll follow through. And I don't think that people will capitulate.
Here's what I think is going to happen. Go ahead.
My only thing is that so many liberals I know have bought guns during all of the riots and unrest that I feel like a lot of their minds have been quietly changed in the last 6 months.
I think what people are underestimating is how radical the Supreme Court is now, because the Constitution is very radical, especially by contemporary terms. And once they start building on Heller, it's going to be very, very interesting. And I think there's a lot of motivation among the right wing and the court to make that happen. So that will be very exciting to see. Lex. Oh, it's Lex 1001. Thoughts about effects of Putin and Russia on this election. I am more concerned, and I want to hear Bridget's thoughts. I'm not joking about China and the how much Biden is in their pocket. And that is some, and also, so I think the claims about Putin are overwrought, and they haven't been talking about Putin that much at all.
Yeah, that's weird. That's what I was just thinking about, is that why it's so weird. It's like the migrant caravans. This is what makes me think we do live in some kind of simulation. Like,
we definitely live in a simulation.
Evaporate into thin air. There will be a massive migrant caravan, and then the next day it's just poof, gone.
You've never go ahead. Sorry.
Go on.
You've never broken the veil?
No.
Oh, okay. Money from Sweden to buy Swedish fish candy. They just call it food there.
They just call it gummy fish.
They just call it breakfast.
Red gummy fish.
Okay, hold. Oh, there's so many of you people. Okay, okay.
People.
Yeah, I meant minorities. Don Lemon on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of hotness. Over to you, Bridget.
No, not on the scale.
3/5.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
2%.
I would give him. His personality is so off-putting to me. Yeah. I feel like I can't evaluate him without that bias. Maybe if I knew nothing about him and had never heard him open his mouth, I would give him maybe a 4.
I think you would also find just his manner so off-putting, even if he's not talking. He just seems so affected and pompous.
Yeah, that's the thing that radiates from miles away. And I waited on a million of these douchebags in my life, and I can spot them from forever.
This is an easy question. Super Mario 2 preference. Which one is your answer? Because I know mine.
Oh, I don't know. I was always Toadstool.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I just think it's a funny shape.
I was always Princess because she could float. So she would move laterally. So it was a very unique movement style that you wouldn't have with the other characters.
Mine was all just.
You're both writers and you both work from home. Any tips on working from home productively? I am really, yes. I'm not joking. Watch About a Boy and apply his mindset to your life. What about you?
I think you have to get out of bed. You have to change your clothes. These sound like very obvious things, but
I'm not with you on the clothes.
I think you have to change your clothes. You're in pajamas?
Yeah.
That's different for me. I need to change my clothes. Also, I have a dog, so I can't really walk my dog in my pajamas.
She's so cute.
And
she has pigtails.
Sleep in pajamas.
What do you sleep in?
Nothing. I just don't sleep in clothes. So I would say move from your bed to another place where you're.
That's 100% the case. Yeah, because I have different rooms. I'm in my office now. The bed's over there, and then there's the dungeon.
And be very structured with your time. Although I'm not 100% great with this all the time, but I think that's the most productive way to be is to, the Pomodoro effect or Pomodoro method.
We talked about this, but I forgot what it is.
It's like you break everything down into 25-minute blocks. You get
timer, that's About a Boy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I do that. I'll be like 25 minutes checking emails, 25 minutes, and just focus on that only one thing. You told me something that was interesting when we talked about how
don't trust minorities.
Yeah. You'll allow yourself to surf the web and write as long as you get that certain amount done of writing.
Yes.
That's interesting. Because I don't know that I would get that writing done. I have to put blinders on.
No, I can't get up from this seat unless I get those 2 pages done. So it'll take me an hour and a half and I'm on Twitter. Too bad you're FDR. You're in this chair, but you are Blanche. You are in that chair. I think Shapiro moved to Florida while Daily Wire moved to Nashville. Still would love to see that conversation. It's going to be epic when it happens. It's inevitable, I feel. I know Ben doesn't have beef with me. Is my understanding. Take this Great Britain money all the way from Scotland. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. It's hopefully it's high tomorrow for Maximum Chaos. Oh gosh.
That's kind of.
Oh my God. My sheath underwear just got ruined.
Ask him about his hate speech laws. They're insane over there, Scotland. What is going on? That shit is crazy. Are you following this?
No.
They're trying to punish you for thought crimes in your own home in Scotland.
I had what's his name on my show? Count Dankula.
Oh. Yeah, it's nuts. This is a recent thing that's going on.
Are you teaching Hope how to do Nazi salutes?
No.
But she's all white.
She has enough problems being all white.
She's so cute. She's such a sweetie. I love
her.
But
Hope believes. I don't know where she is, actually. She was in here.
She's writing.
She's writing. She's writing my tweets.
She has her schedule. Ruff, 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 ruff.
She's
another one from Lex 420. Lex puts 420 because it's Hitler's birthday. I had to teach him that. He didn't realize it. He thought it was another reference. Vodka, whiskey, wine, beer, coffee, tea, or water. This is what I drink. I have 4 cups in front of me. I'm not joking. So I have my enhanced liquid. So that you take water and you add some goo. Or I have my milk. I have a cup and a half of milk. That's with protein shake in it. Then I have my pre-workout. And I'm also drinking soda and Core Power. So that's 5 things. I'm like Kali.
Now I know why you like those underwear, because you can fit your diaper in there when you're online.
I guess that's my Biden endorsement. Just shitting my pants while I talk. Oh. Okay.
Coffee.
What about you? Coffee? Bridget,
Coffee.
Thoughts on the last 3 seasons of South Park?
I like that they were trying to do something different with the like following storylines.
Yeah, narrative. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that they were. I love Randy, but I feel like that was almost the weed stuff got, and it might just be because I'm not a stoner anymore. Maybe I would think that shit was hilarious if I still smoked weed.
It's hard, in my opinion, to make stoner stuff funny anymore. Like, it must have been really funny when Cheech and Chong were coming up because it's all like very subversive. And now it's like, all right, it's like corporate subversive.
Well, because it's big weed.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. And then I didn't think the special was funny at all. I thought they were funny.
I'm only halfway through it and I didn't laugh once.
Yeah, it was really, I thought that they tiptoed up to the edge. There was so much material that they didn't go after. And I was like, pussies.
Yeah.
You guys, this is like Lady Gaga and Eminem endorsing Biden.
Yeah. How do you think Kanye will do? He's going to do terribly. I don't think he's going to do better than Joe Jorgensen or the Green Party candidate, in my opinion. He's not even in all the states ballots. What do you think?
He's on the American Independent ballot here as the vice president.
Is he?
Yeah, the Nazi ballot.
Oh, that's the Nazi party?
I only know this because
Hope told me. She came back from her own meetings. Ruff, ruff, ruff. I won't believe what, Hope? Ruff, ruff, ruff. Really? Kill my neighbors?
It's because I'm a moron is the only reason I know this. And I got distracted by a hot guy when I was going to register as an independent. And then it came back and I was like, American Independent? What's that? Because I didn't know in California.
Literally sounds like a Seinfeld episode where like a lady filling it out. She's like checking out his ass. And it's like, wait, I'm a Nazi now.
No, but this was when I went on Gavin's show and everyone was calling me a Nazi. And so it was right around that time that everyone was saying this girl is carrying water for Nazis. And I ended up getting this. I was like, what's that? And my uncle, who's, smart, he was like, Bridget, no, you can't be publicly registered. He's like, that's like and he's a conservative. He's like, that's like the far right party. I was like, oh, this is a Seinfeld episode.
That literally was when George was thought to be a Nazi.
So there's a brief moment in the history of me where I was a registered American Independent, but Kanye is on as as a VP because he's with that guy who runs on every single ballot, no matter what.
Okay. Wow.
I didn't know about him either. I just learned he gets on every ballot, no matter what. And so, yeah. So Kanye's running on the far right party in California.
If Trump wins, I can't help but feel that it will troll the regime. It will sadly only strengthen it. But if Biden wins, the left still riots, though. Okay, that's not a ridiculous prediction.
Don't you think that it's going to be riots anyway? These people are post-political. They're not like...
No, I don't know that the riots are serving a purpose.
But it's like people riot when their team wins a sport.
That's what I said on Jesse Kelly's show today. It's like, yeah, it's not the losers that riot. It's a lot of times people riot when they win.
Yeah, I think people just like to fucking riot.
Yeah.
Why aren't you rioting? Isn't that like part of anarchy? Shouldn't you be out there?
Puppet master.
Oh.
I don't get my hands dirty.
Oh, I see.
Will Trump be sued and prosecuted if he loses, like ancient Rome did to their politicians? The media needs that to continue to make money off Trump. I strongly doubt they will, because Trump does really great when he's portrayed as the victim, and he's great to rally support from Republicans. And I think a lot of Republicans would then rally to him. They would be a stupid idea on their part, in my opinion.
Will he be sued and prosecuted?
Yeah.
God, I don't know. That would be wild, though.
Yeah, it would.
I was reading today on Twitter, everybody's saying he's barricading the White House. Did I read this?
As if the White House isn't already barricaded.
Well, A, and B, they're like, the White House is already barricaded. So what does he need to reinforce it for if he's not planning on staying?
Yeah, he's just going to lock the door, and they're like, well, I guess he could still appoint people to the Supreme Court. The door's locked. And by law, whoever in the Oval Office at the moment is the president, as the founding fathers predicted. What is the official plan for making Bridget rich? Making that book a huge bestseller.
Yeah.
Supporting her at phetasy.locals.com.
Just phetasy.com. You can go and it'll take you right there.
Okay. So yeah. And we have the links in the show notes directly to that.
If you have a company and you want to sponsor Dumpster Fire, we need some sponsors up in that.
Okay.
Up in that shit show.
Should have super chatted you sooner. Did buy one of your books. Bridget, listen to Malice as much as you can. He's stupid and smart.
No, you're stupid smart.
Thanks, Bridget. Great work. Thanks, great work, Bridget. Thank you so much.
I thought you weren't reading the whole thing. You know, my entire community has a fan club that's devoted to you.
Oh, well, I have a fan club just for you, and it's in my heart.
Oh, thanks. No, they're obsessed with you. They quote you all the time. They're like, well, as Malice says, you're like the guru of the community.
And listen, if they feel like shooting up a school, I'm not saying no.
Oh my God.
Did you say MAGA? We all heard you say it.
No.
Does a Joe Biden victory mean another foreign war? God, I hope not. But I'm very, 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 very concerned that it does.
Who? With who?
A Joe Biden victory. I don't know with whom, but they'll find some excuse for somebody.
Just like people like to riot, America likes to war.
Venezuela, who the hell knows where they'll go? I'm very concerned about this. Are you not?
Yeah, I am. But I don't like war.
Yeah, it's Hey, Michael, I watched Marion Tupy and Dave Rubin. What's all these foreigners on the other day? Quite a white pill moment. Have you seen him and willing to talk to him online? I don't know who that is. Let's look him up. Marion Tupy.
Is it a...
Oh, from Cato. Oh, he sounds like a legit person. Foundation for Economic Education. Okay, I tend not to have that. See, this person not even have a Twitter account? Oh my God, it's like talking to. Wow. Okay. Oh, he's like an environmentalist. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, thank you for that suggestion. Oh my God, Bridget, let me text you who I think I might be able to get on my show. Okay, and people can see your reaction. You on your phone?
Yep.
Look at this. I love doing this. I'm just gonna have to pay them.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be.
My dad met him.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool! Wow. Was he nice?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys ever had a guest so shitty that you don't mind talking shit about them here? No, I don't. It would be very hard for me to if someone's not a good public speaker, I feel bad for them. I don't feel like they're a shitty guest. And I think it would be extremely rare form or bad form, excuse me, if someone's a bad guest for me to denigrate them behind their back. I really, really don't like that.
No, I don't like that either. I don't like it when people have people on their shows and then talk shit about them later on.
It's like, what kind of person are you? You're a phony.
It just seems very uncomfortable. And
like I've had times when I'll like call them out on my show and just like push them a little bit, but I don't feel like it's my job. I'm not this is one of the criticisms of Rubin I really don't appreciate, when they're like, oh, you just let people talk and you don't challenge them. I'm like, that's a choice. Like, not every show has to be this argument. Sometimes it's just like, here's this person, here's what they think. Let me feel them out, and that's that.
Yeah, I think Rogan gets that a lot too, and I get that a lot. They're like, oh, come on for softball interview. I just want to hear people talk. You know, I'll push back if I naturally have that feeling to push back, or if it's a thought or a question comes up, but I'm not like a journalist.
But it's also like, is softball not a sport? Does it not exist? Do people not enjoy watching it? Like, what it's such a very telling comparison. It's like, okay, so we're playing softball. What's wrong with playing softball?
But isn't there that idea to give a man enough rope and let them hang themselves with it? I feel like there's more.
Oh God, she joined the American Independence Party. Now she's talking about hanging people.
Although, you know who's really good at it? Megyn Kelly. Because when she had Mark on, she held his feet to the fire on that China shit. And I was like, wow, she is.
Mark who?
I'm blanking on his last name. The basketball billionaire guy.
Mark Cuban.
Yes, thank you. She had him on, and he refused to denounce the human rights violations in China, and he kept saying, I denounce them all over the world, wherever they are. And she said, but why can't you say you denounce what they're doing to the Uyghurs in China and the concentration? And he would not say it. He just kept, she was like, and she went after him. She was like, you are dodging right now. She was amazing.
She's a tough woman. She follows me on Twitter. I'm assuming she still does. She probably unfollowed me immediately. I don't blame her.
She's a very good, that's good journalisming.
Only Rosie O'Donnell. When is the Malice Bridge presidential run happening? I am not eligible to be president. I was not born in this country.
Would you want to be?
I would want to run. Oh, yeah.
Just for S's and G's?
I think I would be able to make the debate stage. I think it's not impossible that I can make the debate stage. And then, because think about it. I mean, some of those people barely had any support. And then I think things would get really, really fun.
Remember Tom Steyer or whatever?
Yeah. Well, he was a billionaire. He bought his way there.
Right.
But I mean, there was some people who were like, I think
I want to run for president only to limit the president's power.
Okay.
That's the only reason I want to run. Only so that I can take away as much power from the presidency as possible, and whatever I could do to help the middle class.
You have my full endorsement. Are you going to vote for Biden? Depends. That's a Neil Hamburger joke, I feel.
I voted for no one.
Hi, Michael. Did anything surprise you about the Douglas Murray interview? You seem to have a good time interviewing him. I did. A lot surprised me. I wasn't that familiar with him. I had a lot of respect for him. His accent was a little surprising. It was so posh. He was a tough nut to crack, and I'm proud of myself that I got to do it. Towards the end, I got him like laughing, so that was a lot of fun for me. Thoughts on Trump Pence walking out to "I Love It" song from Kanye and Little Pump in the square outfits? I don't know what this means. Bridget?
I don't know what that means either. I Love It song from Kanye and Little Pump in the square outfits. I mean, square like lame.
I don't know. He's Canadian, so who knows what the language is over there. How fun would it be if the runner-up in the presidential race still became the VP? Very. What do you think, Bridge?
That would be fun, yeah.
I agree. Gurus come in small packages. True. I'm writing about Henry Wallace right now, and he was FDR's second vice president, and he got in a lot of crap because he had these series of letters called for Dear Guru. So I'm sure that's not what Greg was referencing. Should Biden turn it into the Ovaltine office?
Bam.
God, jeez. Canadian bucks, dear. Oh, God.
You have a lot of Canadians who follow you.
And it's not a euphemism.
This is what I'm learning tonight.
Please set up Phetasy with Dace Smith. Would love a Walk-ins Welcome podcast with him. I think they know each other.
Dave? Oh, he's my good friend. I love him.
I
do love Dave. Just because he hates me doesn't mean that
he doesn't hate you.
Lost any respect or admiration for his work and his podcast, and he doesn't hate you. Love him.
He doesn't hate you. Just donated at care.org in honor of Bridget. Pony up for hungry kids in Syria, people. Oh, yeah, that's really, really sweet.
Thank you.
We should buy them ponies and not bomb vests. Who's winning the election? Plus, did you vote? I don't vote. I
didn't vote. Well, I voted down ballot.
Oh, okay. Who do you think's going to win?
All red.
Did you?
Just fuck that, California. I just got the little Republican cheat sheet and was like, here we go. Fuck. I need some balance in this state.
Yeah.
There's no balance.
Yeah. I like how the chaos agent is the one who's going to bring balance. I was looking at apartments in Austin because my social network has been absolutely decimated.
Now.
Compared to New York, it's literally half the price. Half.
Oh, it's going up. So you better get in there fast.
Yeah. So
everybody's in Austin.
I know.
Come to Austin, they said. It's going to be great, they said.
You could have your own backyard, they said. For both of you,
who do you think is going to win?
I don't know.
Coin flip?
Yeah, Joe Jorgensen.
I still think Trump's going to win.
If he wins, oh my God.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy, and I've been told that I'm crazy, which is a weird deja vu, because in 2016 they managed to create this entire scenario.
Yeah.
And I feel like, how is everyone getting duped for it again? And they're like, no, Bridget, it's crazy. You are literally crazy for believing this. I'm like, we
already had this. We did. We saw this movie. It's like watching a movie that Clue the second time and it's still Miss Scarlet. I know the ending.
But maybe. I mean, maybe. How many? I don't know.
For both of you, how often do you change your mind significantly? Any recent specific examples? I'll give you one easy one. I was wrong about what was the basketball player who went to North Korea? I'm already blanking on him. I can't believe I blanked on him.
The one who is
Dennis Rodman. I was wrong about him. I thought he was carrying water for Kim Jong-un, and he actually was much more nuanced than I realized and was doing his best to try to mitigate the situation. So I was wrong about him. That was one.
I changed my mind a lot, I think, and particularly in the past.
One day you're going to vote Nazi, the next you vote Republican.
And then I'm going to just vote for Joe Jorgensen.
Yeah.
I couldn't vote for her because she was too thirsty.
You mean her and Reuben?
No, just in general.
Yeah. The her and Reuben, man. Oh, that was so bad.
All my friends were like, she's a libertarian. She has to be thirsty.
Ayn Rand wasn't thirsty.
Yeah, she didn't seem so thirsty. I think that I changed my mind a lot. The biggest shift, I think, in the past 4 years has been on guns.
Okay.
That's been one of my biggest. And even I didn't know that you could have an abortion up to 5 months.
Yeah, that's in some cases later. That's crazy to me.
I'm very uncomfortable with that. I had no idea.
If there's viability, it's murder to me.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I feel like I'm reconfiguring my brain around that one.
Thoughts on Glenn Greenwald leading The Intercept, and thoughts on Substack being a new home of dissident anti-big media journalists. I hate that word dissident. I absolutely hate it. Especially in this context. All these
dudes are part of the establishment anyway.
I mean,
I feel like if you have money or establishment,
you think so?
You get brought into the fold. Don't you think that if you have a certain amount if you're making a certain amount, that you're not really, you're still like part of the game.
You're part of the game. I don't think you're part of the establishment.
I don't know. Maybe.
What do you think about Glenn?
I think that it's interesting.
Okay. Let's scroll down.
I think that it's there's all those guys are doing really well over there.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And good for them.
You skipped one of my big cues. It's not letting. Is this one? Is this it?
I think he asked us if we learned what something.
Wait, no, I don't know how to make this display though. I'm going full boomer. Like I'm using StreamYard and it only lets me go up so far. So the question, I'll read it out loud. It's appearing up here, but not in the field. I'd love advice from both of you on people going through difficult transition, death of a family member, addiction, loss of work, high stress. Oh, this is a tough question. What do you think, Bridget?
Well, can you finish it? Is it just an example?
Examples, yeah.
Just on how to go through it?
Yeah.
Well, I would say that the best advice I ever was given was, it's so cliche and trite, but it really is like, know that this passes. So knowing that it's easy to feel like all of those moments are forever when you're in
Yeah.
them. Like, this will never change. And also, notice what stories you're telling about that, because there can be something happening and you can be making up a lot of stories around that thing that's happening, that might be making it more extreme or more dramatic or worse. And also, really putting, in the same way that you would break down your day, one foot in front of the other, and don't, future trip too much. Like, go to try and
Extrapolating is the worst.
And just try and stay in that day, and as programming as this might sound, like, the next right action, just do the next, because getting sober, going through death and grief, going through someone else getting severely ill, there's so much similarity in just having to, like, just do the next right thing you need to do. How can you show up? And also know that if you are the person who's being of service to somebody else who's going through something, you probably need some support too. So find support.
And just because you're feeling powerless does not mean you're in danger. They feel the same, right? Because you're both cases extremely vulnerable, but they're not the same. Like, if I'm in a supermarket and I lost my wallet, I'm basically powerless to buy anything. But I'm not in danger. It's just, okay, this situation sucks right now. I'm going to have to do some other steps to regain my power. But psychologically, it'll feel like, oh my God, I'm screwed. So it's easy for the mind to confuse those two things.
I think to make, somebody told me really great advice: decisions you can't change take time to make them, and decisions that you can make them quickly. Decisions you can kind of reverse or go on. So don't waste too much time doing those things. And also, I said to a friend today, and particularly, I think, around things with health, don't be so afraid of, going to a doctor or going to the hospital or doing these things, that you put yourself in an actually scary position just because you're procrastinating.
Here's another big one.
You're afraid.
You also lie to yourself and say, if X happens, then I'll be happy. And then X happens and you're not happy. You don't know when you're going to be happy. So don't set up yourself with these scenarios that you have no idea that they're going to come through.
Yeah. Try and just enjoy. The thing that's really saved me is, like, and I said this on Twitter today, I was like, try and be grateful for all the things we ultimately, what saved me in life is gratitude and humor, recognizing just how lucky I am, and also making light of it. I had a bad health thing and I was making jokes in the ER, and same thing in treatment. Like,
Reagan was doing that too. After he got shot, like, Nancy comes in and he goes, honey, I forgot to duck. He's bleeding out. He takes off the mask and he turns to the fucking nurse and he goes, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. It's just like, Mr. President. And he tells them as they're wheeling him into the ER, he's like, I hope you're all Republicans.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's in my next book. I've made it to America, but I have Ted Cruz's form of eligibility for the presidency. I'll be Bridget's running mate any day, though. That's very sweet of them.
That is sweet.
Will any investigations into the deep state disappear if Biden wins? Ooh, that seems like a no-brainer. I would say yes.
Yeah, I feel like they already have, haven't they? Or not?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of it is not being looked at. Like, what happened to the investigations of Julie Swetnick and all those people from a year ago talking about Kavanaugh? They all vanished.
The gangbang?
Yeah. These super chats are vanishing, so I'm sorry, guys. What about Robert Reich's call for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to punish Trumpers after the election? That's straight out of Orwell. I mean, that name, the Truth Commission, is straight up out of Orwell.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, if they could have had that happen, they would have had that happen for Bush voters. It's not like they just started hating people who opposed them. Any hope that pandemic policy isn't a globalist power grab?
That's what it is.
It clearly is. Because at the very least, they have data for how much people will put up with. At the very, 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 very least. Gen Pop and the media are completely ignorant about fracking. Biden speaking about a ban is merely pandering. Would you consider speaking with an oil and gas professional regarding this issue, Bridget?
Yeah, I mean, I just like learning about all these things. I knew nothing about school choice, and then I spoke to Corey DeAngelis, and it was fascinating. I treat my podcast like school, the college I never went to.
I hate having issue-oriented guests. I strongly prefer having personality-oriented guests. Is my
I like
thing.
both. Issue-oriented is much more like school, where I can just ask a shit ton of questions and try and understand. And because I'm such a kind of member of the moron majority, that I often speak for the, I think a lot of people have these guests on and they nod and act like they know what they're talking about, even if they don't understand what they're saying. And the rest of the audience is like, I don't know what he's saying either. And so I'm not afraid to ask the dumb questions.
Yeah, but I don't think they are dumb questions.
Some of them are pretty dumb.
So is Joe Rogan running for the Libertarian Party? Sure. What are odds on China invading Taiwan next 50 years? This is something I'm very concerned about.
50 years? How about like 5 months?
Yeah, I'm very, very, very concerned about this.
There's a big chatter on the defense side of things that I keep hearing, that they're trying to do it right after the election when we're all going to be in unrest. Yes. Or at least flex our muscle and see. This is the thing that pisses me off. I can't believe that in the last debate, no one asked either one of these guys what they would do in the event that Taiwan did this.
Yeah, that's a very legitimate, on-brand, on-topic question.
And we have no idea.
If Biden wins, will he even remember he won? Okay. Are you sequestered right now in your house, Brit boy? Explain the rights. RXN if Biden goes after guns. What does that mean?
I don't know. What's RXN?
Means. I don't know. I know what NRX means. I don't know what RXN means. What was the first red pill you took, Bridget?
For me, when I always the first red pill I took.
For me, I think it was when I was in second grade, and Lisa Rosenberg got up and said, she read an essay. We all have to read essays. And she said, when you share, you always get more. And I started laughing because it was so stupid. And everyone was sitting there nodding. And I'm like, okay, that's where we are now. That was an early one. Yeah.
That was a really early one.
Yeah.
I didn't have any until I was like well into my 30s.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was I don't think that, I'm telling you, I was not paying. I've come full circle. I am as apolitical now as I was when I knew nothing.
Okay.
Knowing very little.
You're not as apolitical. You're voting and you're registering as a Nazi.
No, but I don't. Yeah.
That's very political. That's a strong stance.
No, I just don't. I still don't care. And I don't think that it matters.
That's fair.
I do think locally it matters a little. Yeah. But I don't think that. I've always felt like a just cog in the wheel and a vehicle for making money for rich people and paying for poor people.
We got 15 more minutes. Is that cool, Bridget?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think honestly, the first red pill to answer the question was probably, probably when I went on, probably like 2015.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yikes. Okay.
I was a late bloomer.
But that's why I think you're popular, because a lot of people had red pill forced on them by 2015. I don't get this joke or reference. Do you understand what this means?
I really love the skillful way you beat the other girls to the bride's bouquet.
I think it's a lyric. I don't.
Sounds like lyric.
Let me see. I am. Here's Amouage lyric, which is a good fragrance to wear, but it's hard to pull off. New York State Governor Malice. Worse things have happened. That's for sure. Now that N45 masks are commonplace, do you think scrubs will become the new Japanese streetwear trend? I think that was a thing. I think that was a thing. They like that kind of stuff.
Scrubs are so comfortable. I used to wear them all the time in high school.
Really?
Yeah, I love them.
I don't want no scrubs. Should Lex Friedman have Yarvin on his podcast? They both speak binary. Oh, that would be really funny. If you want to have Mencius Moldbug on, hit me up. I'll make that happen. He's a very, very, very bright individual who I talk to a lot for my book. Okay. Oh, this is all rebooted. Okay, who we have here? Every awesome Malice Phetasy fan in this chat, if you have over $10,000, put 20 to 50% in Bitcoin and keep monitoring. Thank me or regret it later. Okay. Thoughts on Kim Jong-un long-term health? He's a billionaire. There's an entire hospital dedicated just to increasing his longevity. I think I'm very bullish on his health prospects. I'm assuming that question was for me.
Certainly wasn't for me.
Biden is 77, Trump is 74. Literally the most blue-pilled president race ever. If you go to bluechew.com and use promo code Malice for $5, just the cost of shipping, you get free edibles that will give you boners. So that's bluechew.com, promo code Malice.
Wow. That's a nice segue.
How do you guys feel about publicly betting real money as a heuristic for making credible predictions? I think that's a great idea. That's happened to me on Twitter when someone said, oh, George Organs is going to get 10%. I go, would you put $500 in escrow to make this happen? They start flapping their gums. I'm like, okay, you can believe whatever you want, but unless you are willing to make that talk, you don't really believe it.
What percentage of the black vote do you think Trump is going to get?
I think it's going to be very, very, very split by gender.
Yeah.
In the black community, far more than any other community.
Interesting.
But I think black females vote at significantly higher rates than black males.
But they love him.
They do. So, and I think there's also a sense of defiance in voting for him, especially after as opposed to that pig woman. So, what's your guess? I think it's going to be 4 points higher than it was in 2016.
I think it's going to go up in black and Latino males are going to go up.
The Latino thing? You know what? The Spanish people don't like hearing that Black Lives Matter. It's like, what the fuck? What about us? Like, we're getting the short end of the stick in both senses. So I think that's going to work for Trump to some extent.
Well, and a lot of my friends who lived in areas that were looted and there were a lot of riots. It was strong Hispanic businesses and presence, and just their neighborhoods, and they're like not okay with that. I don't think.
I'm interested in your opinion on probability of ballet harvesting and the havoc it will ensue the next 3 weeks. I'm not big on ballet. I feel it's kind of an anachronism. I'm not a dance fan as a rule, although it's a very intense.
They're harvesting ballerinas now?
Well, or ballerinos. Does your newfound success, I don't know who he's referring to, freak you out at all or excite you? Bridget looks hot in black, by the way. Bridget looks hot in anything.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
true.
assuming he's speaking of you because he spoke of me secondarily.
I don't consider myself particularly successful, particularly newfound. I am very excited that for the first time in my life, because I have my Soviet paranoia, because I just love compound media, I am not living in fear because let's suppose compound media went under. That would have been a huge issue for me, right? Not a huge, but a significant one. Now it's at a point where if one thing goes away, I'm not going to be like, if all the dominoes fall, I'm still not going to be homeless. So that is very reassuring.
What did you talk publicly about why you left compound media?
I just didn't have time to do my book. And it's also kind of interesting that I'm getting recognized more, which I want to say I have mixed feelings about. Like, everyone who I meet is really, really normal and nice. So I can't say it's a bad thing at all. I mean, I don't even mean like a little. I mean, they're like intelligent and have smart things to say, and they're friendly, and they're not annoying, and they're the thing I'm surprised with my locals is you would think it would be like all Aspie basement dwellers. And it's all like family people who run businesses who are really together. And it's not at all what I would have expected.
No, it's funny. My friend said the other day, and I convinced him to go in there, and he was like, yeah, right. And he said, I have to say, I underestimated you. I really didn't think that places like this could exist now online anymore. Of just normal people hanging out, talking about food, and still having, friendly debates about certain things, but mostly like peanut butter, crunchy or creamy.
Creamy.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
This was a raging debate.
You don't have crunchy butter. Doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, the idiots. Have you read the comic series Mr. A? Hold on a second. Bridget, answer this question. I'm going to show them something. Go ahead.
Is it your bum? Where's he going? I've never read the comic series Mr. A. Ever.
You were supposed to answer it. Did you answer it?
I answered it. I said I've never read it.
I'll give you guys a sneak preview as long as you promise not to show him of what I'm going to be wearing the next time I'm on Rubin, okay? So the guy who did Mr. Ace Dave Ditko followed it up with the comic book character called The Question. And this is the mask.
Ooh.
So I've got the whole outfit laid out. It's going to look amazing. That thumbnail is going to be sick. So Dave doesn't know it's going to happen. Please don't tell him. I want to see him to be very surprised. Now I've got a little Jufro going. Did you see the Will Wilkinson tweet? Stop reading there. If we could all start working at a third party. Okay. This is so silly. Okay, here's why this is such a bad idea. I know a fair amount about European politics. In most parliaments, including Britain, they have like Britain has 5 parties, but in like Sweden, Belgium, Italy, they all have like 8 parties. Iceland has like 8. Czech Republic has 9. It doesn't. Austria has 5. Germany has 6. It doesn't put things in a better direction. So this is a complete fallacy. We have 2 parties ostensibly, but within each party there are blocks that have different waves of influence. I think this is a complete red herring. What do you think, Bridget?
I don't know. I'm all for it.
Well, of course you joined the Nazi party.
I'm all for it. I'm all for the. I think that if ever there's a chance, it's in the now.
New York Governor Malice is already happening just as the elderly.
What?
I don't understand. Ever worry that things like New Soviet Man may be possible with genetic engineering? I have great news. So hold on a second. There's my favorite British punk band is called X-Ray Specs. And one of their songs is called Genetic Engineering. And it starts out by her screaming, genetic engineering, eins, zwei, drei, vier. And she's mixed race. Polystyrene was the singer. I got in touch with her daughter who just released a book and is doing a documentary about her. So I'm going to try to get her on You're Welcome. So that's really cool. I'm not worried about things like New Soviet Man. No. Are you worried?
What's your biggest fear?
I think like losing my health or like being in a wheelchair or something like that. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily a wheelchair, but like physical deterioration. That's my biggest fear. Mm-hmm. What about you?
That's up there, definitely. I think like a loved one getting really sick too. It just becomes all consuming. I think if it's somebody close to you and they're going through, like rounds of chemo and that fight. I think I've just been around a lot of people who are going through that right now. So so many people are suffering and everyone acts like the only thing you're allowed to be upset about is like the COVID deaths. I'm like, people are still dying of lots of other things.
I just had that tweet during this happening. We're going from pretending to care about old people to pretending to care about black people. Now we're pretending to care about old people again. Yeah, it's reprehensible. Will the outcome of the election have any impact on the Ghislaine Maxwell case? I don't know. I don't know that I'm in a position to answer that.
I'm not, but that's, I feel like everyone has their lanes. That seems like a Tim Dillon question.
All great cultural epics are epics of political decline. Yeah, I think it's creative decline. It's creative realignment. So I think that's certainly true in a sense.
So are you really thinking about leaving New York City?
Yeah, this winter is going to be horrible.
Why?
Because the winter is going to be horrible. I don't know that like all the places I like are gone. My friends are all leaving.
Where are they all going?
They're dispersing, which is not fun. I could be a big fish in a small pond in Austin. The New York winters are very depressing just because of the darkness and the gloom. If it's going to be another
small pond in Austin anymore, is it?
I'm a really big fish. And I'm verified, Bridget. I'm extremely famous. So I don't know. You don't think you'd be a big fish in Austin?
I went and looked at Austin and I'm still considering it, but there's something about LA right now that I'm actually loving it now that all the lame people are leaving. Like it was so like TikTok stars and Instagram, and it became in the late 90s, early 2000s when I lived here. It was LA was amazing. There was just something gritty about it, but kind of fun. And there were, I think when these when the people with the money kind of flee the cities, that's when the artists all come back.
It's different in New York because when the people with the money flee the cities in New York, it gets rapey.
Yeah, same here. It's definitely like I am nervous walking my dog now in my neighborhood. But there is also I think on the other side of that there's a lot of potential. My thought.
We got 5 more minutes, then we got to bounce. That's how you know women shouldn't have the right to private property titles or voting. My significant other prefers crunchy peanut butter.
I prefer creamy though.
Of course you do, because you're a smart woman.
Crunchy. Oh.
Why don't I just eat out of an asshole? It's literally like rimming. Let me see this. Buddy comedy with you and Dave Smith when? I don't know who she. I don't think either of us would be a buddy comedy. How's it? A buddy comedy is when they're dissimilar.
No, a buddy comedy is like we were just having this conversation the other night, my friend and I, about how Wedding Crashers was a great buddy comedy that then turned into a rom-com. No, the first half of that movie is a buddy comedy, and then some idiot gave it a note and it became a rom-com.
I'm writing about a buddy comedy in my next book, Reagan Thatcher. That's a buddy comedy because these two characters should not be able to get along. That's the basis of a buddy comedy. It's not they're friends. It's that it's ironic friends.
I don't think that's the only buddy comedy that exists.
No, Reagan Thatcher is the only buddy comedy that exists. Favorite Simpsons moment? God, I mean, there's so many. Bridge?
I think when they eat their pet lobster.
Really?
And he's crying over dinner, and he's like, I just love Pinchy so much.
Lobster's overrated, I feel. I'm a crab person.
I just love Pinchy so much. Pinchy would want it this way. That was one of my favorites. I don't know why. It just always stuck with me, him crying while he was mourning the loss of his pet when they boiled it in the bathtub.
My brain is coming up with like 100 jokes. Like some of them is like, when the Germans bought the power plant, I think Conan O'Brien wrote that episode. And they're like, your beer is like swill to us. Or when Marge was scared of flying and she's on the plane and she's like, you know what? I forgot to empty out the lint drawer. If someone breaks into the house and does laundry, it could start a fire. So things like that I really, really enjoy. But those aren't my favorite. Cuomo forced COVID patients into nursing homes. I know. What? Source? Ghislaine Maxwell is a deep state case. Doesn't matter who comes in, things won't change. That's an interesting perspective.
We're getting statements now.
Yeah. Are you Q? Are we hearing from Q? Malice has to be livid thinking of going to Austin. It seems like a pretty garbage city. Well, New York is becoming a pretty garbage city. So I'm just really kind of getting very, very annoyed with it. Not going to lie.
What if Texas turns blue?
I've been in New York all my life. I'm fine with that. Rob Schneider quoted Mises, prospect as a guest. He follows me. So I don't think that's at all unlikely. Are New Yorkers and Canadians and Californians hopelessly blue-pilled? No. And I don't think it's a function of New York or California. I think there's lots of people in red states who are blue-pilled.
Yeah. There's also, I think a lot of it has to do with the geographics and what's going on. So it's been fascinating to watch my neighborhood turn red over the past 8 months on Nextdoor.
Wow.
Let me tell you. It has just been fascinating watching like the discussion go from, and then there's still the people who are like, we have to take care. There was a raging debate about, the persons who remain houseless or whatever. And then she was going after everyone who called them homeless in the mentions. And it would just there's a lot of trolling going on in Nextdoor. It's got a different vibe than it did 6 months ago.
I'm in the National Guard, but also a libertarian. Cool. My mom was born in October, so she's a libertarian as well. Okay, we're out of time. This was fun. Should I stream tomorrow, Bridge?
Ooh, I mean, you're gonna compete with Rogan and Alex Jones?
I don't know if it's competition. I mean, I think we all have different strengths that we bring to the table.
No, I know. It just seems like, ooh, what else would you be? I guess you could like bounce from stream to stream.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. It's like it's a commitment. Am I going to sit on this ass for like hours? So
I'm not doing any of that. Here's what I might do. I might open up my chat in locals and let people all talk amongst themselves and jump in and out of the chat because I'm going to be with family. And so I'll let people communicate and then I can jump in and chat and engage, but they'll still all be able to have each other too. And then that means they can still watch whatever stream they want to watch and all that stuff. But
part of me also wants to just live tweet, like tweet
you
storm
make
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I also have.
I mean, if you're gonna do anything, do something where you make money.
Okay, I guess. God, hand rubbing intensifies.
That's just my 2 cents.
You know, for a Nazi, you're pretty much very Jewish in your ideology. All right. Thank you all for joining this. These are fun.
These are fun.
I'm gonna see you soon in person, assuming Governor Cuomo lets me get out of my FEMA camp.
Jesus.
And now I'm going to go do some deadlifts. So much left, everybody. Oh wait, 2 morons or Malice. Little hearts. Okay, take care, everyone. Much love.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.